Hey, Dakota.
Yeah.
What's your favorite, Stained song?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Hey, guys.
It has been a while.
Yeah. Almost 2 months. Sorry
well-
about that.
Welcome to the Social Disruption Podcast, the first episode in about 2 months that we've recorded. We posted one a week ago that we actually recorded.
At the beginning of December.
Yeah, so by the time this one airs, it will be a few days from the beginning of February. So we've been behind a little bit.
You know, the last time we recorded was about a decade ago.
I mean, you're not wrong. We haven't recorded all decade.
I'm so upset that I made that joke.
No, it's good. We get them out of the way. We're here now. So, pretty much, we've just been doing a lot of family stuff. A lot of, Thanksgiving, Christmas holidays. I went out of town.
They did 2 trips to and from Texas. So they were gone for quite a while. I just started school. So we've been kind of hectic recently. But we're settling back into the swing of things and hoping that you guys get some content on a weekly basis again. Starting now.
Starting right this second. We got a really fun episode for you. We got a kind of a light episode before we get heavy. We'll go into it a little bit at the end of this episode, but next weekend's a doozy.
Yeah.
And we're excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it, and I know Dalton is too, so.
Yeah, but for this episode, we have a very special guest. She's Dakota's roommate, my roommate, and my girlfriend, Shelby. So, yay, finally! Oh, yeah, so, it's about time. She's a huge fan of the podcast, listened to every single episode multiple times.
Every time. Every time.
The joke is she hasn't, though.
Yeah.
I have listened to some of your podcasts.
Well, she's been here while they've been recorded.
Yeah, so, but she's a fan. No, listen,
she's definitely a fan of you. I don't know about me or the podcast, but she's definitely a fan of you.
I mean, she lives with you and doesn't complain about it.
As far as I know. So why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, Shelby?
Well, my name is Shelby. I live in an apartment with 2 guys. And, I like the color blue.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
okay. That's my favorite color, too. Oh, it's not your favorite color. What is your favorite color?
Teal.
Okay. That doesn't count.
It counts as blue.
It counts
Okay.
as blue. I'm not going to get into it right now. I was just, giving some real insight into the person I am.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah.
So we have here with us Shelby that likes blue.
Okay. The blue lover.
Yeah. And today we're going to be talking about what makes us upset.
Yes, we're going to do just a little fun episode about something not super fun, pet peeves.
Yeah.
Just really the things that aggravate the shit out of us.
Yeah.
Things that really make us tick. To start things off, do either one of y'all want to take a guess at where the term pet peeve originated from?
Was it something that somebody's pet was doing that peeved the man?
No, it was not. Babe, do you have an idea?
I don't know. I always kind of thought maybe it was the teacher's pet and they annoyed you.
Also a good guess, but no, it's actually originated. This is kind of rare, honestly. It's an American word. It's an American phrase.
Okay. Most of the time our said phrases and stuff come from Latin or Greek.
It
background.
kind of did a little bit. It came from an English word, peevish.
Okay.
Which means ornery or ill-tempered.
Okay.
So we kind of back-formated the word peevish into peeve.
Okay.
And there was a comic strip that ran from 1916 to 1920 called Pet Peeve.
Okay.
Which was about a king, and he had a little pet doggy that always aggravated the shit out of him.
Okay.
So that was his pet peeve.
Okay. So he
I've got one of those.
He
Yeah.
nicknamed his dog Peeve.
Mm-hmm.
Because
he was so aggravating. And the comic strip was just about Peeve's hijinks with aggravating the king.
Okay. Well, the more you know.
That is the more you know. So we kind of are just gonna like go off here, just randomly. We don't have a whole lot of form. I got a couple basic structured categories.
Maybe it's a free for all, shooting back and forth, asking each other things that make us upset.
Surprise you both with a couple of questions here and there,
as you do,
as I like to do. But let's start with food. Okay, and when I say food, I mean experiences at restaurants, and I also mean just things with food in general. Like, I'm gonna start. Let me hit you with a question, Dakota.
Okay.
And Shelby. When you're making a plate at Thanksgiving, can the foods touch?
They better.
Yeah, I like putting the gravy on top of, about everything.
Okay, but can your corn rub up against your mac and cheese?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And yep, okay.
Texture surprise.
Yeah, when I was a child, I could not. Absolutely. There had to be about 2 inches.
Right.
My girl had the Zoopals plates.
Yeah. I wish. I wanted some of those little trays. And
Not have everything separated.
Yes. That's how I wanted it. But as an adult, when I was like, one day my corn got into my mashed potatoes and I took a bite and it was amazing.
You're like, this has been there the whole time?
Yeah, I was like, how have I been living the first 20 years of my life like this?
I've been sliding myself this whole time.
Yeah, because I know some people to this day that aren't fans of it. You know?
Are you one of them?
Oh, I don't mind it at all. I mean, I don't I can honestly not really think of a food combination that I would dislike touching each other. You know?
Mm-hmm. So if you're going to be eating them on the same plate, then they're probably going to go well together.
That's true.
So
actually, they're going to complement each other.
Exactly.
Do y'all have any, just off the top of your head, food-based pet peeves that you can think of?
Loud chewing.
Loud chewing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If I can hear you chewing your food and it's not something like egregiously crunchy, then it's a problem. Like if you're eating chips and I can hear you like crunching, that's fine.
Yeah.
I understand. But if you're like just smacking on something, I just can't do it. Or like loud, like just bad table etiquette. Like
I knew somebody where they could be eating mashed potatoes and it sounded like they were grinding cement.
That's
and something about it, I just
horrible.
Oh, I hated it.
Yeah, God,
horrible.
That's disgusting. I mean, I don't super bother me, but I can definitely see how it would.
It's just gross. It's not even like that it bothers me in a sense that it makes me mad. It's just disgusting. Like it's a telltale sign of who the person is. Like
Well, no,
if you don't chew with your mouth closed, I think you're a slob.
I think that's the mouth opening. I'm talking about with the mouth closed, it sounds like cement.
Oh, yeah.
But with the mouth open, especially when food falls out of their mouth while they're eating, oh my goodness, I've seen that so many times, and I'm just like, I work at restaurants, and I see it all the time. I'm just like, oh, gross.
Does the 5-second rule exist?
Depends on where you are. Location matters.
And what it is.
Location matters.
Okay.
Is it a real sticky substance? Because if it is, it's going to catch everything. But if it's like a fillet and I drop the head on the ground, I'm picking it up.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you drop soup on the ground, it's done.
Oh no, my soup! I can just see Dalton sweeping soup back into a bowl with his hand, just like no, my soup.
Searching for a straw.
It's like Kevin's chili on The Office.
Oh God, that was so sad. But everyone talks about it. But he spent all night making that chili. He was so excited just to drop it on the floor.
Oh, that's the worst.
It was so sad. But yeah, I would say, unless you're at a hospital or something like that, if it goes on the floor, I'll give it some time. Because legally, germs can't get on it until after 5 seconds.
Right.
Yeah. Technically, it's 5.2 seconds, but everybody just kind of rounds down to 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's just like if your teacher doesn't show up in the first 15 minutes of class, you're legally allowed to leave.
Legally.
If you pick up your food within 5 seconds of it hitting the ground, germs aren't allowed to touch it.
That's true.
That's a fact. Even the ones that are in the way when it hits the ground, they have to move.
Rules are rules. We don't
That's
make them. We just abide by them.
This is the way.
This is the way. Do y'all have any other food-based pet peeves, annoyances?
I really don't like it if I'm out to dinner with friends and they leave a huge mess on the table when we leave. I'll stay behind and clean up the table.
Yeah, like dating a server. I've really noticed like as we're done eating, Shelby will kind of tidy up the plates a little bit to make it as easy as possible. And I'd like to think that even if I wasn't dating a server, that's a good thing for me to pick up like by myself.
Right.
But there's been times out where I've tried to done that, like when it's just me and you and I try to like set things up.
Yeah.
For stuff like that. On like how much does that actually help? Really?
It does. So think about it, like all the napkins getting used and whatnot. You kind of just pile them up on the plate. The server doesn't have to grab your dirty napkins.
Exactly.
And they appreciate
And they can
that.
just bonk the plate into the trash
Yes,
can and they
yeah.
all fall off and they never have to touch your
Just
nasty ass
take
napkins.
a knife and scrape it off, and all I touched was the side and the bottom of the plate. And I'm still going to wash my hands, but I feel better
It's
doing
less
it.
gross.
It's much less gross. There is one situation. Well, it happened a couple of times, but there's one time it was really, really bad, and it actually sickened me.
Oh boy.
Yes, I was working at Texas Roadhouse, and everybody knows they have the peanuts.
Right.
Okay.
Of course.
So, they're in giant barrels. They're in buckets on the table. They don't get changed out every time. And why is that allowed? Because you don't eat the outside, okay? You crack them open and eat the peanuts on the inside.
I disagree. I eat the outside of the peanut shells.
At
You're a
Texas Roadhouse, you do
monster.
that? Random strangers are sticking their hands in there.
I mean, I don't care.
Anyways, so the reason they're
Yuck.
the reason they're allowed to do that, and the reason this is getting thrown on the ground and it's fine, is because the idea is those parts that are touching the ground and getting touched in the bucket aren't actually getting eaten by people. Okay? So,
Except me.
oh gosh.
There's probably like a fringe group that you're a part of.
Yeah, I'm sure there's, and my story's going right there. One time I went to clear some plates off a table, and I guess I just didn't see it, but my hand squished into something, just very unfamiliar. I looked down and my fingers are in a pile of chewed peanut shells that someone had put on the table.
That's gross.
That's disgusting.
I don't like this at all.
I couldn't help but to look at the man like I wanted to hurt him. Like he was just putting whole peanuts with the shell from the bucket that came from the barrel that who knows what kid sneezed on it.
Yeah.
He was just putting all those straight in his mouth, chewing them up, and then putting them in a pile on the table.
That's disgusting.
And my fingers went in it.
Rude.
It's peanuts. It's not sunflower seeds. Come on.
Right.
Yeah, and like sunflower seeds, when you're eating those, they come out of a bag.
Exactly.
Like, it's your own personal
Crack
bag.
the fucking peanut and eat the inside like a human.
Yeah.
If you feel the need to
I'm
do that,
talking to you.
just don't eat.
I do it out of
Just commit. Eat the whole thing or crack it and just eat the inside.
like
Yeah.
I eat it when I actually do it. Like I eat the shell, and I do it for like 1 out of every 5 peanuts.
I'm never taking you to a Texas Roadhouse.
Good. I don't want to go.
I'll go to Texas Roadhouse with you and eat peanuts like a normal person.
I'm saying everybody's pretty good.
Yeah.
Those rolls are pretty nice.
I'm not taking you though, so me and Dakota are gonna go. We're gonna enjoy some rolls. We're gonna crack the peanuts. We're gonna
That's right.
eat the peanut out of the shells and throw the shells on the ground.
And I'll pick them up and eat them.
If you pick up empty peanut shells off of the floor of a restaurant and eat them with me, I'm not allowing you back into our home.
Yeah, you're kicked out.
That's fair. That's a good call.
But as for food, I think that was like probably one of the worst, and I hate when people put steak on put ketchup on a steak.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of in the camp of just like let people like enjoy what they want to enjoy, but at the same time, there's just something feels so wrong about it.
It's fine whenever it's like a sirloin or something, but when they go for the most expensive cut, the best quality.
Let me get a well done filet with ketchup.
Yeah, that's like.
Just have a hamburger.
I'm like, man, that was such a good cut of meat, and you just put ketchup on it.
Yeah.
Gross.
How do you feel about people like blowing their nose at the table, stuff like that? Like, do things like that bother you as like a server or like people being at a restaurant like with you?
No,
anything like that.
Not really. Like, I mean, blowing your nose, one of those things that has to happen. But I mean, if you're actually like courteous and you kind of like put a napkin up to your nose and you kind of turn to the side and do your thing, just don't leave it on the table.
Yeah.
You leave it on the table and I hate you.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of making servers hate you, a pet peeve of mine: shitty tippers.
Yeah.
For no reason. Yeah.
Can relate.
Yeah. Just.
I've never waited tables before, so I don't understand it from like a employee's perspective. But I definitely don't like it when I'm out with friends and they like will cover the bill and then they don't tip or something like that. It's just like
Right.
it's not only a courtesy, but it's like an expectation of like the way that our economy is set up that you are supposed to do that, and it's how servers get paid.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
tip your servers.
Yeah. I'm all for tipping servers.
And your bartenders.
Yeah, and your bartenders. But it is still a choice that people have. Now, what's really messed up is I have seen, maybe 2 couples out and one couple pays and they leave some cash on the table for the tip. Mm-hmm. They leave. The other couple grabs the cash.
Oh.
That is scummy as shit.
I have seen it.
God, I think that's a difference between like a pet peeve and just being a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's next level.
It does aggravate me to see people be pieces of shit, but
that's a whole nother topic.
That's for real. That's awful. Now there have been times where I've been out with people and like they'll be like, "I'll cover this if you cover the tip," and like if it's like me and like 3 or 4 other people, and like I've been out one person with one of our friends. He was like, "I'll cover the check if you guys cover the tip," and it was like a $60 check that he just paid for all of us. And so the other 3 of us, we each threw in $20.
Yeah, she
got 100% tip on
that tip. Yeah.
So like, because I was gonna spend $15-$20 anyways, might as well do it for the tip.
Exactly.
I don't know. If I'm out with people and I see them like tip super shitty, if I can, I'll do an extra tip.
Comp their tip, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also never go out to eat with them again.
Yeah, I mean, it'll just be hard. I'll just try to cover the tip myself next time. And I'll make a mental note of it like, hey, if we go out to eat with them again, they're shitty tippers, remember that. But, any more food related pet peeves y'all can think of? I'm trying to think. I don't like when restaurants put some condiments on top of things, particularly sour cream.
Okay. Are you like not a fan of sour cream? Or?
I'm not a huge fan. I could do trace amounts of sour cream.
Okay.
We actually had this discussion earlier at Pizza Joint. There's the baked potato pizza at Pizza Joint has sour cream on it.
Right.
And we got it off of it because neither one of us likes sour cream. But
wild.
Like I've ordered some dishes where there's like at a Mexican place, typically stuff is on the side. Right. They have like a bed of lettuce, tomatoes, guac, sour cream on the side. But I've been to some places where they go ahead and just put it on top.
Right.
That's aggravating because I didn't think I had to say it, but I guess it's also kind of on me. So I guess I don't know if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's just been some things where it's just like, oh, here's a condiment that's now all over. You know.
Yeah.
Like with things like nachos, I try to remember to specifically say, "Hey, can you put the sour cream on the side?"
I thought you were gonna say that you didn't like it when the nachos came built. Like you had like doing all your
I would like to do my own nachos, please.
So you need to relax.
No, like nachos is one of those things that I know for a fact I need to go ahead and specify that because it's customary. Right. But if I just order like a plate of fajitas, don't put the sour cream on there.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, where would you even put it?
I don't. They're hot.
Exactly.
It's so hot.
Exactly. What were you gonna say, Shelby?
Oh, I was gonna say. I don't even remember right now. I'm just. I was picturing sour cream on sizzling fajitas.
That was a bad example because I'm sure no one happens.
No one ever put.
No.
Yeah.
It was just an example. You know?
Anyways.
All right. Next up, let's talk about personal relationships. And I don't just mean like relationships, but the people you talk to, talking with someone, being with someone, stuff like hearing someone eat, smacking their food. Mm-hmm. That would also technically count as personal.
Okay.
I'll throw it out there first. If you're someone that just like constantly interrupts people, like I know when we hang out, we talk, we sometimes interrupt each other, but it's almost always an accident. But I personally know people, and I'm sure y'all do too, that just consistently interrupt people. And
it's the worst.
Like a lack of social awareness.
Yeah.
It's just the most annoying thing.
Well, one thing we also do is we always circle back. Like, we might finish what we're saying, but we're like, hey, sorry I interrupted you. What were you saying?
Yeah, like
Exactly. As long as you, like, acknowledge the fact that you did it.
Yeah, it's like...
I feel like it's not as bad as...
like, yeah, whenever it's just like, let me tell something that I want to say, and then I am going to make sure you don't say anything else about what you were just saying.
Yeah. Right, I think we all know someone like that who's just like, you start talking about something, and then it kind of shows even worse in messages, in text messages, like group chats. Like, you talk about it, you throw something out there, because they have an option. They can read what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I've been a part of some friend groups like that. People I don't talk to anymore. That I might vent something.
Their word is law.
Yeah.
And I said, damn it, I want you to hear what I have to say. I don't care what you're talking about.
Like, I will vent about something, and they'll throw like that sucks. So I was fucking eating a goat the other, like, it's just like.
Completely unrelated.
Yeah, I don't expect us to like harp on my problems here, but like,
let me let it out.
Yeah.
Feel bad for me for a second.
Just for a second.
And then we can move on.
But that personally just gets on my nerves.
And it gets worse every time it happens, especially if it happens like more than once in a conversation. Like, the more times that you get interrupted while you're trying to make a point, the more mad it makes you every time it happens.
You get to the point where you're like, you know what, I'm just not going to fucking talk.
Fuck this conversation. You know, I don't even want to.
I am now a mute, and I will be for the rest of my life, because you won't let me talk.
Because if you bring it back to what you were talking about, the atmosphere has changed. Because everyone knows what happened. Uh-huh. It's like, oh shit, so-and-so changed the subject when he obviously wasn't done talking about it.
Yeah.
So now what do we do?
You're like silently calling out the person that interrupted you by returning to the previous conversation. You're like, you know what you did.
Anyways, none of us are concerned about you eating a goat. Back to what I was saying.
Exactly. Feel bad for me.
About
Fuck
what
your
Martha
goat.
Stewart's been up to.
Exactly.
It's really important that we talk about this.
I need you guys to know things.
Yeah. What are some other personal?
Do you have any like social pet peeves?
Like out in public or just like with friends? We're talking about like with friends and when we're talking.
Anyway, like in any social sense, like
any
out with
social
friends,
setting.
hanging out at home, talking.
Stuff
whatever.
that you witness firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot express to you how much it just peeves me. You know what really grinds my gears?
Oh boy.
Is when I'm standing in a line and the person behind me is like breathing on me. They're touching me. They're so close. The line's not moving any faster. It's not going to move fast. It's per person, not by length.
You're just making me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Move away from me.
Move away. Why do I feel your breath on me?
Yeah, I saw a friend of mine's status today. Might have been Heather Biddlecombe's.
Yeah.
It was hers.
Oh my goodness, I saw it too, and I was just like, yes!
Yeah, when she was standing in line, and someone's, like, stomach was literally touching
Get your
her butt.
stomach off my ass or something like that.
I had that happen before to myself, and so when I saw her post, I was like, yes, you're speaking to me right now. Like, I was in line, and I'll admit, it was crowded, okay? Mm-hmm. But the people in front of me have their personal space.
Right.
Nobody's gonna cut me. There's maybe a foot between us.
Yeah.
You know? Who's gonna come up and cut me? I could just be like, hey, excuse me, there's a line that starts way back there.
And there's obviously not space for your body between mine and the next person's.
So anyways, I feel something touch my butt. I turn around. I see a woman with a fanny pack on, okay? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. Maybe she didn't realize her fanny pack was touching my butt.
The fanny pack was just fulfilling its destiny.
Yeah. So
that was good. Yeah. That was a good joke.
It was
Jesus.
It's moment.
I was named for this.
I kind of look at the fanny pack, I look back up at the lady, and then I take a step forward, which is moving me closer to the other people. But
so
still,
therefore, she takes a step forward.
Yes, she took a step forward. Before I knew it, something's touching my butt. I look back. I almost turned my whole body to look at this woman. And her fanny pack's touching me. So I step forward one more time, thinking it's pretty obvious. I turned around and looked you in the eyes, lady. So I step forward one more time. At this point, the lines moved just a little bit, so I'm still not touching the people in front of me, okay? Once more, the fanny pack is touching me, and I almost turn my whole body to look at this lady, and she says, it's real crowded out here.
At this point, you've squandered all personal space.
Yeah, she's like, this line's real tight. I'm like, it wouldn't be.
It is your fault, lady.
People like you is what's making this line so tight. There's plenty of space for the line.
Oh, man. There's an elevator at work, and I get off on technically there's 5 floors. There's ground, parking 1, parking 2, main floor 1, and main floor 2. And where I work is on main floor 2, and I park on parking 1. Okay? So I got to go up 4 floors. There have been times where, like, a lot of people, enough to fill an entire elevator, basically, where we're all standing comfortably, gets on parking 1, all going to M2, and it stops at either P2 or M2, and the doors open, and someone who obviously shouldn't be able to fit, right? The doors open, and no one wants to say it, you know? No one wants to be like, it's crowded, because it's not. We're all just, like, comfortable. Mm-hmm. But there was one time where the doors opened, and I already don't like elevators. We've discussed on a previous episode that I have a weird thing with elevators.
Yeah.
The doors opened. I probably had a nice little 1.5-foot bubble around me, and so did everybody else. And it was a big old boy. Like, it was probably every bit of 300 pounds.
Okay.
And opened the door, and, like, no one moved, but he just started making his way into the elevator. And there was a collective groan as everyone kind of just pushed back and made their way, and the doors closed. And I was shoulder to shoulder in this elevator, just internally screaming, just like, get me out.
I will say I also hate that.
Yeah,
the elevator's clearly full. Just get the next one.
So you don't like escalators, right?
I hate them.
Okay. So you don't have that problem on an escalator.
I don't go on them, so I don't have the problem no matter what.
I was at the mall yesterday, and the escalators were down, so they were just stairs.
Oh, I use them at that point.
And I was, like, thinking to myself, I was like, would she be afraid to use the stairs?
No, not at all. I'm fine with escalators.
When they're stairs?
When they're stairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was reading a comment on Reddit today specifically about escalators. There's the Macy's flagship store in New York City has wooden escalators.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, and I looked it up, and they look really cool. And someone had a deathly fear of escalators because they're like, if it opens up and you get down there, you're just ground up. You're nothing. But he said, this exact quote, but I feel like if it opened up and I fell into some wooden escalators, I could put up a fight.
Yeah. Well, actually, as soon as you said that Macy's had wooden escalators, I was like, I think I'd give it a try.
Yeah.
That's some personal growth. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it did, when I was a child, an escalator took my foot.
It took your shoelace?
It took the whole sandal. I never found it again.
Oh.
Sucked it right up.
It took the whole sandal
Slurp.
at the top of the escalator that was going up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yanking myself free, I fell down the escalator that was going up.
And then you just stayed there. Some say she's still falling to this day.
I felt like it was never going to end. It's now my personal nightmare. And, yeah, no sandal, a bunch of scratches. And, I have nightmares. I don't do escalators. I'll do an elevator. And I take the stairs quite often.
Yeah. Well, this is a little off topic, the whole elevators and escalator phobia, but that's okay because they started off in good places.
Yeah.
Dakota, what about you? What's a personal, social pet peeve that you have?
I know you're going to agree with me on this one.
Okay.
Walking slowly.
It takes me back. It takes me back to high school days where...
You ever tardy for class because some slow-ass person was walking in front of you and you couldn't get around them?
Not just one, but multiple. And what seemed
like flank the hallway and walk like...
Yeah, like a whole group will get together.
It's like they get together and they plan out their formation just to inconvenience you.
All right, guys, we're going to do the flying V.
Similar note, If you ever had a locker underneath someone and they were taking forever to get their books.
I never had a locker in high school.
Interesting.
I had 2 book bags, one for A day and one for B day.
That's a bold strategy.
It kept me from what you're talking about. Because I've seen people with like bottom lockers and people who just like open up their top locker and just pull out a thing of like airheads and just like sitting there just chewing, talking to their friends, and you're just looking at your bottom locker like, please let me get my things.
Hello, neighbor.
Yeah.
I would like to access my locker now.
Like, yeah. So I didn't deal with that, but the people walking is the worst. God, I can't stand it. And it happens everywhere. No matter what age, no matter where you are. The setting.
It happened at the store.
At the store, the gas station.
Even just like out on the Riverwalk. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
God.
The worst is whenever you bring your kid with you, and they're like, wait up. And it's like, no, I'm trying to leave you.
Yeah. Yeah, if we're talking about pet peeves for children.
Existing
Yeah.
is a pet peeve of mine. Another one for like food would be like having your kids running around inside the restaurant.
Yeah. And interesting on that, before, getting with Shelby has a 3-year-old son, who I now identify as my son as well. So before her, I was always the same thing. I was like, fuck them kids. Like, but then I've taken him out to restaurants before, and I've tried to like calm him down, and I don't think we have, from what I can think of, but I can see how you could just like, okay, just fucking run around for a few minutes. Let me just eat a few in peace.
No, that's not okay.
No, I mean, I get that's not okay.
Then it wouldn't even be peace, because then you'd be wondering about the well-being of your child that was running around a restaurant full of people you don't know.
Different settings for different things.
Yeah.
Like, you're on an outdoor patio area, and away from the tables, there's like some trees and, rocks and whatnot. And kid wants to walk over there, away from the tables, and they're just kind of exploring the trees and stuff. That's fine. But as a server, I've had a drink tray full of 10 drinks and had a kid just run right into me. And
you've told me about that.
Neither the drinks or the kid survived.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's honestly the only way to stop this tray of 10 drinks from falling on this 3 or 4-year-old's head was to actually launch it. And those drinks went flying. The mom was like, I told you not to run around. I was like, it's a little bit more than that now, lady. I'm a little upset with you. My manager, and he was just like one of the strictest, most annoying managers I've ever had. I turn around and I see him there. I'm like, oh, great. Now I'm about to get written up for this child running into me. And he was just like, nah, I saw what happened. He's like, he made the right move, not letting the glasses fall on her head.
Yeah.
I was just like, what? I was like, if for this guy to take my side, I'm actually legit mad. I was like, I'm allowed to be mad about this?
This is uncharted territory here.
Yeah, this is crazy. But also, I was a manager for Texas Roadhouse for a while, and countless times there was a child wandering, and I would find them, and I'd be like, hey, they'd be walking in the kitchen or something. I'd be like, where's your mommy? And they're like, I don't know. So then you're walking around the restaurant trying to find their mommy. There's been times where it was about 15, 20 minutes we couldn't find the parents until at some point the parents are like getting taken to their table, and I'm just kind of standing there with the kid like, do we call the cops? And the parents are like, oh, there you are.
Like, how do you not care?
Like it was nothing. Like, their kid had not just been gone for 15, 20 minutes. And I'm just like, I have a job to do. I'm babysitting.
Right. Not to mention that 15, 20 minutes is more than enough time for a child to be, like, taken.
Yeah. It's like,
Plenty of
they had no concern. And it's happened multiple times.
Jeez.
They've got plenty of other kids at home. They don't need to worry about
Yeah.
You can always just make a new kid, too.
Exactly.
Like,
they're disposable. They're
It's like
basically slaves.
The lost children just become a part of Texas Roadhouse. It's like, who do you think cooks your steaks?
yeah.
The lost children.
Exactly. They just sent them to the land of misfit toys to make Christmas presents for little kids.
Yeah. All right. I can see that. All right, both of you. If you had a choice between getting every single red light you ever came across for the rest of your life, or having every song skip for the rest of your life.
Red light.
Red lights.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, what bothers me more than hitting every red light is when I full stop and as soon as I stop moving, the light turns green. Oh my god.
Dude, what actually, like, infuriates me, especially if I'm on a time crunch, like if I'm going to lunch or something, is if I'm behind a car and there's a green light and the light turns yellow at plenty of time for that car to get across. If we were going the speed limit, like, case in point, downtown Augusta, I believe the speed limit through downtown is 35, right?
About 50.
Give or take.
50.
I think it's 35, okay? There would be times where I would be driving somebody behind someone going 20. And because of them slow driving, we would both get caught at the red light. And honestly, it's not even that they don't want to rush the yellow. If they were going the 35 and they didn't want to rush the yellow, that'd be fine. But the fact that they could have hit the green if they were going the speed limit.
Or speeding.
You just like speeding.
That's besides the point.
But it's just, that makes me so fucking angry.
Green means go, yellow means go faster.
Exactly. That's the rules.
This is the way.
This is the way.
I hate driving when they come to a complete stop.
You got on to me about this the other day, and that's the law.
No, I'm talking about we're on the main road.
Oh, if you full stop to make a turn?
You take a full stop to make a turn?
Oh, yeah, okay.
We are gonna fight. I'm gonna park my car too, and I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna beat your ass and turn your car for you at a reasonable speed.
If you're trying to turn right off of a main road and you come to a full stop to where you can put your car in park, I want to punch you.
Absolutely.
I mean, all right, I'm not too mad at that, honestly, because it's just like, gotta be safe. You know, better safe than sorry.
It's dangerous to stop in the middle of the road.
I've had my car totaled that way. Somebody stopped in front of me, and I was braking. I was like, wow, this is a 45-mile-per-hour road, or are they going to turn at any point? They came to a complete stop. I'm slowing down as much as I can. I can't merge into the other lane because there's traffic. And I got rear-ended. It totaled both our cars.
I mean, I hate to be that guy.
Don't worry, because the person in front of us had turned right in time for me not to also hit them.
I mean, I hate to be that guy, but the quote-unquote, the law is that you have to come to a complete stop before turning right on red.
No,
I'm not talking about
into
a
driveway or something. Like off of the road into an establishment or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought y'all were talking about turning right at red lights, and I was like, that's what you're supposed to do.
No, like turning into like a restaurant or a church or something.
Okay, yeah, fuck all that. Yeah,
it's like I turn on my blinker because I'm about to turn into Kroger, and, instead of just turning into the Kroger at, 10, 15 miles per hour, I come to a complete stop.
Yeah, okay.
And then I turn into the Kroger.
I thought y'all were talking about, like, stop signs and red lights that you, like, turn right on, and I'm just like, you're supposed to stop there.
My pet peeve is the law.
No, I'm fine with that. I'm not fine with, somebody coming to a complete stop on a 45-mile-per-hour road and then causing me to get...
That's extremely aggravating. Yeah. I agree.
It's also dangerous.
Yeah.
That absolutely is dangerous.
Having the two cars be a total loss, one of them looking like a crumpled up little ball, it's kind of amazing we were all fine.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, jerk.
At least they got in to where they were going safely.
Yeah, it
was a bar, so
good for them.
Jeez. All right. What about things online? Things on social media. I got a really quick one. I hate when I'm going to click something on a website, but then it loads and it goes down a little bit, and you click the wrong thing.
An ad or something.
And it happens more often than I wish it did. But there will be times where you'll be scrolling, I'll try to click a hyperlink in an ad, but a page will load and it'll like shoot down like an inch or two, and I end up clicking an ad that goes to the completely wrong thing.
And then you click back on your phone and it takes you somewhere else.
So yeah, you click back on your phone, you go back to the page and you give it a minute because you're like, okay, I know it's going to load again, I'm not going to click it.
Right.
It's a whole fucking process.
That happened to me twice today.
Really?
Yeah.
That's just one of those little things, it's nothing that I like want to like scream and throw my phone over, but it definitely is one of those things. I'm just like, it's 2020. Cut this shit out.
When something is kind of funny and you like exhale harder than normal to laugh, it's the same thing but for mad.
Yeah, it's an angry sigh for sure.
Yeah. You ever flex on your phone when your Wi-Fi is being slow? You just turn it off and use 4G.
Yeah.
I ain't waiting for this shit.
It's like
I've done that for sure.
You feel like you're punishing your phone for some reason. It's like, what?
You're just actually just not using your own Wi-Fi.
Slow ass internet.
Slow ass. I had one, but I forgot what it was. Social media, which I got. Pet peeves. Scrolling on Facebook. What do you hate to see? I know what you hate to see.
When someone insinuates the fact that they have a problem, but they quote unquote don't want to talk about it, and they're just fishing for attention.
Attention posting.
Ooh, yeah. Or I'm getting a new Facebook, and it's like, well, I mean, wait, isn't this your 5th Facebook?
Yeah, people with multiple Facebooks weird me out.
It's like,
see, my little brother has to do that because his get banned.
I mean, that's a good thing.
That's a different story. I'm talking about just like time for me to get off social media for a little while. I'm taking this Facebook down, whatever, and it's like, okay.
And then like 4 hours later, you get a friend request from
the
same person on a new Facebook.
And I'm just like, wait a second. Like, there was one time I was looking through my friends. I was like, I got to clear out some people that like either don't have Facebook anymore or like whatever. You know, maybe some people from high school that I have not talked to since high school. I was like, I'll just get some people off of here.
You're friends with the same person 6 times?
Yes, friends with the same person 6 times. And I'm just like, why? I thought you were deactivating those Facebooks. I thought you were deleting them. Like, what happened here? You're just adding the same people over and over again? Like, do you want me to...
Just log back in. That's all you got to do.
What did Facebook do to you?
Right. They see some cringy ass memories and they're like, I don't want to live through this. And they just make a new one so you don't have any.
I'm pretty sure that there's a way to like make those memories not appear, right?
You could delete them.
Something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've deleted memories. I mean,
I've deleted memories.
Everybody was in high school at one point. Everybody's posted some cringy shit on the internet. You want to get rid of it. You don't want that part of your life around anymore.
Right. Yeah.
You just go ahead and click that little trash can button and never have to see it again.
It's gone. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
It is. I wish we could do that with people.
I mean, you can.
Did you put people in trash cans?
Yeah.
Do you do that?
I wish.
Exactly.
I'm not physically able to.
Exactly.
Another.
Well, that's why we're gonna start going to the gym.
Yes, we are.
Another thing on Facebook is when people just go on and post their day. I'm just like, it's so weird.
I don't mind that.
It's
That's
like, no, not like in a story format. It's like, yeah, I went to Kroger, did some grocery shopping, and then I went down the street and I saw like a homeless person. They were asking for food, but I didn't give them any. So then I went home, cooked up a very disappointing taco, and now I'm watching Gossip Girl. I'm like, why did we need to know that?
Tight.
Okay.
I mean, like, sometimes it's like funny stories from somebody's day. Mm-hmm. I'm all about that. But whenever it's like something like the weather forecast for the day. It's like, hey guys, it's supposed to be 75 and sunny. It's like,
cool. I have the weather app too.
Yeah. It's like, man, did the weatherman tell you that himself?
Right.
Like, how do you have this information?
But yeah, if it was one thing, if it was like it's 75 and sunny, who wants to go throw some frisbees? You know, that's one thing. But just be like, it's 75 degrees outside. Cool.
Thanks.
One thing I see it fairly often. I'm not attacking people who take a lot of selfies of themselves. If you're feeling yourself, feel yourself. But stop putting these captions on there like, who said blondes can't wear blue jeans? Nobody said that.
No one ever said that.
Like, you know, it's like if you take a selfie, and, you know, if you just want to post a song lyric, go for it. But don't be like,
who said Latinas can't eat burgers?
And you think it's not often, but wait, after hearing me say this,
go
really
look at your
Instagram.
Go look at your Facebook. Look at some selfies and see the stupid shit that people post in the captions.
Yeah, it's just,
they're there.
It's just like they said it couldn't be done. What? They said what couldn't be? Who said that? Like,
who is talking about what?
Like, I post selfies. You post selfies.
Sure, everybody does.
Yeah, you don't post a lot of selfies.
I've posted a selfie or two.
Yeah, or two before.
We need to get you on that fucking boomer selfie game on Facebook. You need to post some of
I
them.
do
They're
some really
fucking
good
hilarious.
boomer selfies.
Boomer selfies are top notch. Let me tell you.
We gotta get some of them on Facebook.
Yeah.
'Cause that shit is hilarious.
I've got it down. I know the science behind it.
You do. They're so good.
What you have to do is you have to put your mind into a boomer's mind.
Ah, yes. So you got to go back 60 years.
Yes.
Hey. Let's see. We've got about 10 minutes left before we got to do some like outro stuff and start hyping up next week's episode. Let's just wild card pet peeves, not really structured around anything.
When somebody sends you just K.
Oh, God. Dry ass texting.
Or when I text you back fast and then you don't text me back fast, we're going to fight.
I mean, it's understandable if you're like at a job or at school or something, but like if I know you ain't doing nothing.
And you still text me back slow?
Yeah. That aggravates me some.
On site.
Because, I am more of a texter than Shelby is. And there will be some times where, like, I know she's on her phone, but she ain't text me back yet. And that's aggravating.
That's when you just double text. Pay attention to me.
I do say that. I literally sent her one the other day where she didn't reply to me. Mm-hmm. Like, she had read it, but didn't reply. But she replied in our group chat, and I literally sent her, how you gonna message our group chat but not message me back?
Oh.
And she was just like, I don't know. I got a lot of messages.
He was not happy with that answer.
I wasn't.
The text he sent back, I was like, oh, I need to do some damage control.
I hit it with like the, okay, sorry to have bothered you then. Ooh, one of those.
I was like, geez.
Yeah.
Most guys are like, oh, she doesn't text me all the time. This is great.
Yeah, true.
But then I text you all the time.
Yeah, I talk to you more throughout the day than anybody else by a lot.
Because I just like live tweet you my thoughts throughout the day.
Yeah, you do. Literally, like, if I went through our messages right now, there's like periods where we actually like talk back and forth about things, and then it's just like, I think today
it'll just be me, like 6 or 7 messages in a row throughout like a couple hours, just like telling him a thing that I'm thinking about.
Like a song lyric. I'm looking for the very specific
God.
one today. It was,
I was in my computer class earlier today, and my professor was talking about the origins of the internet, and he asked, like, as a whole to the class, he was like, does anybody know who invented the internet? And my dumbass said Al Gore. And no one laughed at me.
It's just so funny.
I was defeated.
Yeah.
I was so sad. I actually made a joke about, like, I'm never speaking again. Like you were saying earlier, like when you get interrupted too many times. I made the joke that should have been funny. Especially considering the group of people that was there. Like, it should have been funny to at least a couple of people. And no one laughed at it. And then I was just like, all right, I guess I'm never speaking again.
Yeah.
We were discussing the thing about your essay where she said you were wrong about the atmosphere. And then we kind of like a little disagree where I say I can understand what they're saying, blah, blah, blah. And Dakota says, I guess, I don't know, man. I'm just hungry and I want to go. And I said, they wilded for sure. And then a whole 10 minutes later, you just said, about to boof some checkers. So yeah, dry ass texting, that's definitely aggravating. Not to get like super political, but just
What the fuck are beans?
What the fuck is a gazebo? No.
It's medicine that doesn't actually do anything.
No, but when any side of the political spectrum, oh god, what? Just what? Go ahead. Just what? Just say it.
Go ahead.
When any side of the political spectrum says or does something specifically just to piss off the other side.
You trying to trigger some limbs?
Yeah, like
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I hate seeing it
the
from
Samuel
both sides.
story.
yeah, like
Oh yes.
specifically, I am more towards the liberal side, as we'll see next weekend in our episode. And I see a lot of conservatives who say and do things just because they know it'll piss off the libs. Like, a lot of people voted for Donald Trump just because they knew there would be Democrats out there literally crying on the streets, which there were. So they're not wrong. But, like, and I've seen it from both sides. Liberals who just go on Facebook and say some just off-the-wall shit like, I really hope the government busts down your door, takes every single one of your firearms. when I've seen that same person, like months prior, say that they believe everyone should own a firearm, blah, 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 blah. They're literally just saying it just to get a response, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like I was saying before with like the attention grabbing.
Yeah.
Like, they're just looking for attention. They're not actually looking to like make a statement or talk about a problem or anything.
Being purposely inflammatory, I guess, is a real pet peeve of mine. Like I know I've said I like provoke a lot of discussions on my topics. But I'll straight up say I'll try to start an argument.
It's your point is to discuss.
Yeah,
your point isn't to like upset someone. Like,
I'm not trying to
granted,
purposely trigger anybody.
people do get upset.
Yeah,
but that's not the point. That's just an entertaining byproduct.
Like I have done it before. Like I've jokingly gone on there. Like one that's gotten a lot of people is I've gone on there and talked about how much I hate the Beatles. People don't like that. Not like a lot. And like
it's just an incorrect opinion.
You bringing this up with 10 minutes to go.
It's just an incorrect opinion. That's all. It's okay. You're allowed to be wrong. That's okay.
If you say so, bud. All right, let's get some final pet peeve. What do we got?
The cream of the crop.
I guess it kind of goes into the things on Facebook, but people just like seek after drama. Look, I don't really play into it, and honestly, a lot of times, like when I get upset about something somebody does, the person that's going to hear about it is like Dalton, you. When I come home and I talk to you guys about it, I don't talk to that person. I really just don't give people the time of day. But geez, do people try me.
Honestly, this episode is kind of just how things sound like at our apartment at any time. It's just us three talking about shit that's really aggravated us throughout the day.
Yeah. Just come home and vent about it.
Like Shelby comes home and she talks about like shitty interactions with customers while serving. Dakota comes home and talks about shitty interactions at school. I come home and talk about shitty interactions with people at my job and like the struggles I'm having in my workplace. And this episode is pretty much just an inside look at our lives here.
Oh yes, speaking. Maybe not a peeve, but just in case, anybody wanted to know, female management is not real management, according to this lady I had to help the other day.
Oh,
I just want everybody to know about that.
I mean,
women cannot be managers.
Sounds right to me.
It's just correct. It's a fact.
They're women-agers, not managers.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
I don't know. She did say, "Why are you talking to me? I want to talk to the manager." I'm like, I am the manager. She said, the manager is a man.
In a suit. Isn't that what she said?
Yeah, a man in a suit.
Every retail worker's dream is the I am the manager.
Yeah.
And you got it, and she took that away from you.
I didn't know what to say. Like, what do you say to that?
That's so funny.
The manager is a man in a suit, and I'm just looking at her like,
what?
What's wrong with my cardigan?
You're like, I look nice tonight.
I'm wearing dress slacks. I'm not sure.
That was rude.
I am very confused. Should I wear a suit?
Boy, what?
I'm just gonna start working in a full suit every day.
I'm just gonna call you Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be doing a Hillary Clinton. My boss is gonna be like, "You're doing too much."
But I'm the manager.
I'm the manager.
All right. Well,
what about you?
Last minute pet peeves.
Last one.
I guess it doesn't really matter now. I loathe working in a place that doesn't have decent management.
It does apply because you do work at a place that has shit
I
management.
mean, I'm not for long though. Like
because of shit management.
Yeah. So basically, if you are never present, one of my most uncomfortable situations at a professional work environment is when I am not the highest on the totem pole, which I've never been in any job I've been in, by the way. I've been in some positions of power, but not like the highest. Is when the person I need to go to escalate a problem to is not readily available. And I feel like as a manager, or if you're managing anything, that should never happen. And that's happened to me in like the last 2 jobs I've had, and it's frustrating, and the feeling of helplessness. It like goes past pet peeve for me, because I'm literally like just talking to a person who is expecting a service, and I have to tell them I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer, and I also have no way of getting the answer.
Look, you're in the right place, but my manager isn't.
Yeah, like it's just.
If my manager were to come to work and was here during the scheduled hours they're supposed to be at work,
We could solve this.
Yeah, we could solve this right now.
Because there's been times where in both my last 2 jobs I had, if the manager was currently there, a problem would have been solved like that. But they just weren't. And then I would have to call their personal cell phone, hope they answered. And if they didn't, I just literally would have to tell this person who paid money for a service, just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I can't help you.
And I'm good with people, so like, I'm able to like de-escalate it and keep it civil, but I shouldn't have to.
Exactly.
I don't get paid enough to do that.
True.
Like, and if
And I'm sure they don't.
I mean, they probably don't either, but they get paid more than I do, so they should take more than me.
And that's their position as well, so,
Right.
you know, we all got our parts.
Dakota, final pet peeve.
I've been sitting here thinking this entire time,
Yeah?
and I got nothing.
Got nothing.
I'll go with incorrect stereotypes.
Okay. Like
Like generalized misinformation.
Okay. Like, give me an example. Like, what are you thinking?
I am born in the window of time that would consider myself as a millennial.
Okay.
However, I know how to operate a manual transmission, and I can write in cursive.
I mean, yeah, I agree.
But just from the window of time that I was born in, someone from the outside looking in would automatically assume those were incorrect or not true or false because of when I was born.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can actually piggyback on that one too, because I hate when people are like, "Oh, millennials eating Tide Pods," and I'm like, millennials don't eat Tide Pods.
Like,
that is the next generation. Y'all are just thinking
Right.
anyone who is younger
also,
is a millennial.
Like anyone that's not a boomer is a millennial.
like less than 50 people nationwide ate a Tide Pod. Like, it's not an entire generation. Like,
yeah, but it also the age range. Those were like teenagers doing that. Millennials haven't been teenagers in so long.
Yeah.
Long since teenagers.
Yeah. Like, I'm being lumped with like sophomores in high school, and I'm just like, what? Like,
yeah.
Mom used to hit me sometimes where she's just like, oh yeah, your generation eating Tide Pods and shit, and I was just like, your generation literally had pet rocks that you paid money for. Like,
okay, Patrick.
Like, what the fuck?
Hey, don't hate on the pet rocks. I've definitely found a few.
You found, not paid
You didn't
for.
buy them.
Why would you pay for a pet rock?
Ask the previous generation. Not to mention the previous generation ruined the economy.
Jeez.
Okay. Moving on.
But,
Yeah, I just do hate when people are like, they'll lump in like,
I
you
agree.
know, like as much as there's like boomer jokes, not all people in that generation are like the typical, I guess, okay boomer,
Right.
you know? And same with like
I would say
millennials
though that
we got millennials in their 30s.
there are
True.
more
Boomers.
okay boomers than there are Tide Pod
Millennials.
millennials.
That's a hot take, but I agree. There are definitely more of the boomers that you would definitely okay.
I'm willing to say maybe one millennial ate a Tide Pod. If you're saying it was like 50 cases of it,
The people that are
saying-
actually like statistically considered millennials.
Everyone at this table is technically considered a millennial.
And 0 of the 3
Right.
of us ate Tide Pods,
Right.
as far as I know.
Right.
well, yeah, we're completely in the range of millennial, and he's cutting it really close.
He's like
Yeah.
the tail end.
The
Yeah.
tail end of it.
Now, did you graduate 2013?
12.
2012?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you're cutting it. I think millennials are born after like 2000.
No, born before.
I'm sorry. It's like after 95 or 96 or something around that.
Yeah. And I was born in 95. So
Okay. You're on like the cusp. Because the generation after that's what, Gen Z?
something like that.
Yeah.
But I think that's
The Tide Pod eaters.
yeah. I think that's towards the end of this episode. Babe, thanks for coming on. Yeah, we appreciate
Well,
it.
thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I do live here.
Well, whenever you feel like chiming in, there's more than enough space at our table.
And honestly, if you are ever on the couch over there that's only 10 feet away, you can just yell at us, no matter what episode, who we got on here, everyone will know it's you.
Yeah.
So you're basically a member of this podcast as well.
Yeah. So, anyways, we've got some exciting stuff coming up.
We have a little warning, and we're going to give another warning before next week. We've tried to keep it somewhat
civil,
unpolitical up till now. We've had fun episodes, ghost stories, pet peeves, Thanksgiving. We didn't do our Thanksgiving episode, did we?
I don't fucking remember, dude.
Halloween.
Video games, cars. We've had cool episodes. We've kept away from hot topics. But next week,
boy, we getting gritty.
There is...
I would say next week and then all the way through February, at least for the next month and a half, every episode is going to be
deep,
gritty.
Yeah, it's going to be dark. We're definitely starting the year off weird. There is a myth.
Legend.
A legend. That if you're friends with me on Facebook, and I believe also Dakota,
yeah,
if you've ever seen us post anything political, you've seen him chime in. I've had 3 people in the last few months message me personally saying, do not give this man a platform.
But here we are, giving this man a platform.
And his name is Donald Thompson. He is a libertarian, and if you don't know what a libertarian is,
you gonna find out.
You will find out. But we're going to have him on. We're going to just turn on the mic and just go for a while. Maybe be a 2-parter, because that man has prepped.
He said he's got 10 pages of notes, and I think the most that we've had for an episode is 2 or 3.
We had 4 for Halloween. Okay. Halloween was a lot of info.
But this man has 10. It's gonna have to be 2 parts.
Yeah, it may just, and it's gonna, because neither Dakota or I are gonna sugarcoat anything we feel. Donald is definitely not gonna sugarcoat anything I feel. But the only thing I told Donald is that if at the end of it, if there's anything that Dakota and I deem too abrasive or risque for the podcast, we will not air it. But we're going to attempt to air the entire thing.
Mm-hmm. And eventually, once we get enough content, we are going to do outtakes and stuff, and the unaired, and
deleted scenes. We have a little folder of chopped up funny stuff that we've got. So stay in tune for that. Donald's episode will be the last episode of January, but February we are kicking off romance. It's romance month for the social disruption.
For all of the entire month of February, all of our episodes are going to be on relationship-esque topics, whether it's personal or romantic, all kinds of stuff involving relationships. And we've got a lot of groundwork laid for those, and they're going to be some quality episodes.
Dakota's done some really good outlines and research, and we have an actual homosexual coming on talking about gay things.
A real-life homosexual?
Yes. He's going to be here in this apartment.
Are those allowed?
They will be in February. No, but so... We've got some cool stuff planned for the next month and a half, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't hit us up with ideas. We're still looking to hit some people up, get them on an episode.
We are...
March is wide open.
I was going to say, we are now booking for guest slots for March.
March is wide open.
Get the most Irish person you know.
Oh, I want to do a St. Patrick's Day episode.
Oh, we will.
Just get sloshed.
We just get sloshed for an episode. I'm down.
I'm here for it.
Yes.
Right. Okay, well, be looking out for that. But I think that's all we've got for now.
Yeah, and even though we've been gone for a while, we are still on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Play,
YouTube, Facebook,
Instagram.
Everywhere we've been all along, we're still there.
Posted another thing on our Twitter.
I don't even think I've ever posted anything on our Twitter.
Okay. Don't worry about Twitter then, because we're not. But everywhere else, Instagram, Facebook, we out there. So
come find us, and we'll be seeing you guys real soon.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.